Testing communication systems. Can you hear me? You must be the new researcher HQ sent. It's nice to meet you. I'm your survey, exploration, and research assistant AI. You may call me Sarah. I'll be providing support to you during your dives. Thank you for your hard work on behalf of the Ocean Research Project. The head office reports that you're one of their best. Please begin moving so that I can confirm your location. Location confirmed. You may now swim whichever way you like. Now, let's make sure the lenses in your mask are working correctly so you can perform your research. When you scan a creature, you should be able to see its biological data. Try scanning the fish over there. Scan successful. Note that if you keep holding the button, you'll be able to scan more creatures. When you scan a new organism, its biological data is transmitted to HQ. Scan more and more organisms to build up your reputation as a researcher. You might have noticed that after you scanned it, the light you saw on it disappeared. I'll get into why that happened at a later point. This is the Veiled Sea, an ocean region whose topographical features are in constant flux. Feel free to explore, and simply let me know when you are ready to continue your dive training. We've arrived at the canyon. As you can see, there's only a narrow passage between the cliffs. Our destination is a nearby cave. I'll mark its location for you. Down currents tend to occur in areas like this that have steep drop-offs. A down current occurs because the water is actually falling into the crevice toward the seafloor. Isn't nature fascinating? You will notice a large reef composed of many diverse species of coral. We call this the world coral. It's home to a unique ecosystem, with numerous creatures living in and around it. Research shows it is critical to sustaining life throughout the veiled sea. But look here. Some parts of it are dying. The cause of this necrotizing effect isn't currently understood, but it appears to be spreading, gradually killing this bustling hub of underwater life. If the necrosis continues, a point of no return will be reached. The world coral will die. It is a critical part of the ecosystem in the veiled sea, so such an event would profoundly impact life here and in the surrounding ocean. Project Aegis was founded to investigate why this is happening and stop the necrosis before it's too late. You are now the newest member of Project Aegis. Welcome. Ready to get started? Of course, as your assistant AI, I'll continue to provide you with navigational guidance and research support. I should note that you will not be allowed to return to the world coral without specific clearance from HQ. Now that you've gotten a good look at it, we'd better be on our way. Huh? My sensors are showing an increase in activity. The cave is starting to shake. Analyzing. I detect unusual biometric signs nearby. Caution advised. Sending emergency transmission to HQ. Major disruption occurring at the world coral. Researchers in the area may be in danger. There it is, and it's enormous. It looks like an extremely large variant of coelacanth. I've searched our database, and there are few examples of a coelacanth of that size, or with that golden coloring. I understand you want to investigate, but it's not safe. Seismic activity detected. The seafloor is shifting. There's a risk that that creature will be agitated. I advise not to go near it. Use a dolphin kick to get away faster. You should be out of danger now. And your vitals readout indicates you're not hurt. It's unusual to have such a strange experience on your first expedition. Then again, this is called the Ocean of Mystery for a reason. I hope we meet that creature again. But first, you'll be learning about Salvage from one of the other divers on the team. HQ reviewed our data and confirmed the creature we saw last time was a new species. I can only hope we see it again. But for today, we'll focus on finding Salvage. There are lots of objects to be discovered in these waters, from household trash to ancient treasures. Part of your role as a researcher is to salvage these artifacts, bringing them to the surface so we can study them further. To help you learn, you'll be joined by another diver. Here he is now. Daniel is one of the most senior divers on the team. He's very knowledgeable about the Veiled Sea. Shall we get started? As Daniel would no doubt tell you, the best way to find salvage is to look for glowing objects on the ocean floor. Salvage found. Well done spotting it. Transmission from HQ. We've been asked to relocate to the northwest and search for salvage there. Salvage found. It seems the harder something is to find, the more valuable it is. HQ has granted permission to search in the northeast. Please continue looking for salvage. This merits further investigation. I'll call Daniel over. It appears to be a stone tablet, a very old one. The square patterns suggest it might be a chessboard. I'll cross-reference against the database and try to provide further analysis. Please stand by. Result found, 74% match. This appears to be a relic of the Oan's people who perished tens of thousands of years ago. Little is known about the Oans, but it's said they built a thriving civilization on the Veiled Sea. In legend they are referred to as the Guardians of the Sea, an advanced people who lived in harmony with the ocean. The value of a genuine Oan's artifact would be immeasurable. Request received from HQ. We've been asked to bring the tablet back for study. If it really is an Oan's artifact, it would be a monumental discovery. HQ will confirm and provide compensation accordingly. Good morning. I hope you were able to get some rest after all the excitement yesterday. Today, I'll be teaching you about tagging. Tags are a useful way to communicate with other divers, but they can also help you navigate around in the ocean. Let's start by tagging a creature. Scan one and select the tag you want to apply while focused on it. This yellowish, long-finned tang lives in rocky areas and reefs. Members of the species have stripes from a young age. Though a juvenile will swim with its fins spread out, the adult only opens its fins to frighten other creatures. An herbivore, this fish likes to feed on algae and moss. Tag successfully applied. You'll be able to keep track of this creature's location on your map. Tags can also be attached to Salvage. Let's try it. There appears to be salvage in that area. Tag successfully applied. This salvage will now be marked on your map. You can also see tags on your map from divers who are sharing with you. I'll go into more detail about sharing later. It looks like Daniel saw your tag and decided to head this way. Receiving transmission. The researchers at HQ have concluded their study of the artifact. The artifact was confirmed to be an ancient relic of the Oan's people. HQ is referring to it as the Mystery Board. On it are squares containing inscriptions relating to the mysteries of the Veiled Sea. They've been called the 99 Mysteries. For some reason, due to properties not understood by HQ scientists, the squares appear to be capable of producing light. Scientifically speaking, that wouldn't be possible. Then again, it would hardly be the first phenomenon we've seen with no rational explanation. The Mystery Board will prove very valuable if it helps us learn more about these mysterious waters, or shows us how to save the world coral. Hello there. I see someone has decided to join us for your last day of training. Daniel must be feeling competitive after you found the Mystery Board. Today, you'll be free to make your own way through the Veiled Sea, using what you've learned as you explore. You may notice that creatures are easier to see after you scan them, since the shroud of light around them goes away. HQ's working hypothesis is there are luminous bacteria that get repelled by electromagnetic waves from our scanning arrays. This process is known as collecting light. Transmission from HQ. We have updated information about the status of the world coral. HQ monitoring systems have detected light emissions at the world coral and a concomitant reduction in necrotic matter. It seems that somehow, light is returning to the world coral and restoring it. Huh? Look at that. It's the same large coelacanth that we encountered last time. Risk level, moderate. While its temperament toward humans is unclear, the creature does not seem as agitated as last time. I advise trying to scan it. But please be careful. You did it. Scan successful. I'll transmit our data on the supersized coelacanth to headquarters. HQ has assigned this new species the name Raja Emmas, which translates to Golden King. It's never been studied before, so needless to say, the data you gathered will be quite illuminating. You may not know that HQ maintains a numbered database of unidentified marine life, or UMLs for short. By scanning Raja Emmas, you've officially discovered a UML. Congratulations! Your career with Project Aegis is off to a promising start. Strangely, it seems to have started shining in response to your discovery of Raja Emmas. It appears you were right. We'll have to keep an eye on the mystery board as we do our research. And with that, your training is now concluded. Between finding the mystery board and discovering Raja Emmas, it's been an eventful few days. I look forward to working with you both again. Happy diving! Big-eye tuna. A species named for its eyes, which are larger than those of other tuna. It is known to migrate in the depths during the day, only coming closer to the surface after night falls. This is a medium-sized tuna that preys on fish, crustaceans, and squid. White-tip reef shark. Found in coral reef regions, this shark is active at night and generally sleeps in the shade of rocks by day. It is easily distinguished by the white tip of its dorsal fin. Although it is said to be docile, the sight of a group feeding together can be unsettling for the nervous observer. Red sea bream. Pale red with light blue flecks, its coloration is thought to be connected to its environment in some way. It lives on its own, deep in the ocean, and feeds on prey such as prawns and crabs. This species holds cultural significance to some, and since prolonged sun exposure can cause visible damage to its skin, scientists are studying ways to mitigate this danger. Red stingray. Its large, diamond-shaped body ends in a long tail with a venomous stinger. The stinger is hard and serrated and has high penetrative power. Not only is it difficult to remove, it also leaves the edges of the wound badly torn. Its skin is the same dark brown as many other species, but the underside has a distinct orange edge. Mirror dory. This fish's circular body and lack of scales makes it look like a metal mirror. It is distinguishable from the similar John dory by its indented head shape. Juveniles have black spots that fade as they grow. The species inhabits deep water and is usually solitary, preying on smaller fish and squid. Polka dot ribbonfish, young. Its thin body starts off wide at the head and tapers down toward the tail. The infant has elongated fins and spots on its body. As it matures, the fins shorten and the spots fade, leaving the adult fish without either of these distinctive features. It is occasionally seen in shallow waters, but it can live up to 500 meters deep. Coelacanth. A deep-sea fish that looks roughly the same as it did 350 million years ago. Based on an analysis of its scales, it is believed to have a lifespan of around 100 years. Unlike most fish, this species does not have a backbone and instead has a tube-shaped structure that functions like one. Japanese spider crab. This is the largest crustacean in the world, with a carapace measuring approximately 40 centimeters. It has 10 long, spindly legs with claws at the end of one pair, which grow especially large and long for males. Old records state that the biggest ever specimen was just under 6 meters. Giant sunfish. A sunfish that makes its home in warmer waters. It has a huge body with a hump on its head. It will eat small fish and plankton, but seems to especially like jellyfish. At times, this species has been seen rising to the surface and laying its body flat. This may be to remove parasites by exposing them to sunlight. Albacore tuna. This relatively small tuna can be recognized by its long pectoral fins. Its schools tend to be found near the surface or at middle depths. Though most humans may know it for its use in food, the species is a critical part of underwater ecosystems. White true valley. A large horse mackerel that swims in schools. It is a carnivore that preys on small fish and crustaceans. Its body is flat like a sea bream's, with blue-green on its back and a white abdomen. A young member of the species will also have a yellow stripe on its body. It occasionally grows up to a meter long. Cacao Maharaja. The leatherback is the largest turtle, and this is the largest leatherback. The ship that first sighted and reported this giant was the Cacao Maharaja, and the turtle has somehow taken the same name. It prefers to eat jellyfish, and it is believed that it must consume a significant number of jellyfish to maintain its impressive size. Opa. A species with a beautiful red-tinged body, found in the deep sea. Its ability to regulate its body temperature makes it well-suited to moving quickly through the frigid waters at this depth. Though it may resemble a sunfish, it is more closely related to the oarfish. It is a carnivore that preys on squid and small fish. Emperor. This coelacanth is unbelievably large. Who knows how many years it took to reach this impressive size? Looking at it makes you feel the weight of the ages and even a sense of timelessness. The feeling of solemnity leaves you in no doubt that this is the emperor of those living fossils, the mighty coelacanths. Swordfish. A large species of marlin, this fish has adapted to living in deep water. It is known to dive as deep as 600 meters during the day, though it will remain near the surface at night. It possesses an aggressive temperament and has been seen charging whales, sharks, and even boats. North Pacific right whale. It has an arched lower jaw opening into an enormous mouth, and bumps on its head that can be used to identify individuals. It uses the bristles in its mouth, called baleen, to filter microorganisms out of the water and eat them. Because it takes a year for the female to gestate a new calf, this whale is quite rare, and efforts are being undertaken to protect the species. Thanatos. This enormous great white shark is feared throughout the Aegean Sea, where it is seen as the embodiment of evil and violence. It actively attacks people and boats, tallying numerous brutal incidents. Its many scars are proof of the countless battles it has fought, and it has cunningly evaded all human attempts to ensnare it. This creature is a monster born of years of ferocious fighting that can be seen all over the world, but only rarely. Megamouth shark. As the name suggests, it has a large head with a gigantic mouth. It spends the day at depths of several hundred meters before returning to the surface during the night. Although it was discovered in 1976, it is rarely captured, and so there is still much that is not known about this shark. Leatherback turtle. The largest turtle in the world, it has large fins and a dark, leathery back with several ridges instead of a hard shell. The total population is small, and it is considered an endangered species. Its diet usually consists of jellyfish and salpas, and it is capable of maintaining its body temperature in cold waters, as well as diving as deep as 1,200 meters below the surface. Goblin shark. This shark has an elongated head, giving it a monstrous appearance. When it dies, its pale pink coloration changes to red due to congealed blood, before fading to a chestnut brown. It feeds from the ocean floor, protruding its jaws to swallow prey whole, looking yet more monstrous in the process. Great white shark. It feeds on large fish and marine mammals, and its sharp teeth with serrated edges can easily bite through the flesh of its prey. This is a dangerous animal that sometimes attacks humans, but it does not target them specifically. Any attacks are likely to be a case of mistaken identity. Common feinttooth. This fish's massive mouth has an upper jaw that stretches back behind its eyes, and long, large teeth. It may not look like it, but it is related to the splendid Alfonsino. It floats in the water waiting for prey, and when it finds some, it opens its mouth and skewers them with its teeth. If its teeth become too big, it can't fully close its mouth. Pelagic thresher. The upper half of its caudal fin, almost the same length as its body, is used to swim and also to hunt. It herds fish or squid into one place and beats them by swinging its tail furiously before eating the weakened prey. It is said to be docile and is unlikely to attack a human unless provoked. Fanfin. Known for its elongated, thread-like fins, it also has long protuberances on its head, but these do not emit light. The male's body is extremely small, only 1/10 the size of the female's. Part of the reproductive process of this species involves the male biting onto the female and fusing with her, eventually being absorbed by her body. Flower vase jewel squid. This squid lives in the deep waters of the ocean and has bioluminescent organs all over its body. Its left and right eyes are different sizes, and it typically swims with the larger left eye angled upward. It is believed that the left eye, which has a yellow lens, is capable of detecting creatures that would otherwise be camouflaged, while the smaller right eye is used to search for prey below. This species appears to be prey to sperm whales, based on how often it is found in sperm whale stomachs. Skillfish. This thick-bodied, stubby-headed fish is primarily found in rocky reefs, and it has been seen at depths as far down as 1,000 meters. One of the largest scorpioniforms, it looks very similar to the long-toothed grouper. Humpback anglerfish. This fish has a huge mouth and long teeth, along with a special glowing protrusion growing from its head. It waves the protrusion to lure prey close, then eats it whole. Despite the fact that it lacks ventral fins, this deep-sea species is capable of swimming at high speeds. Giant isopod. This member of the pillbug family is one of the world's largest isopods. While it can swim at surprisingly high speeds, it is usually immobile on the seafloor. This creature possesses a compound eye structure that contains around 3,200 ommatidia and gives the impression that it is wearing sunglasses. It has been observed surviving without food for more than 5 years. It is unclear how it can do this and also maintain its impressive size. Ammonoidea, white. This white-shelled version of an ammonite was quite rare. The shell itself had a partition, and the wavy patterns inside are called suture lines. These suture lines are beautiful and complex, similar to those of chrysanthemum leaves, which suggests that this was a member of a species that lived near the end of the Jurassic period. Spiny red gurnard. This fish is easily recognized by its angular head and striking green pectoral fins spotted with small blue flecks. It can make a croaking noise by vibrating its swim bladder. Research suggests that there are several reasons for making this noise, including courtship, marking territory, and threatening other fish. Striped giant sea bass. A very large deep-sea fish. Its mouth is larger even than that of the Stereolepis gigas. Despite living deep underwater, this fish ventures to shallow waters during spawning season. It prefers to eat cephalopods, crustaceans, and even other fish. Orthoceras. This potentially carnivorous creature was a cephalopod in the Orthoceratidae family. It possessed a straight shell and is believed to have lived from the middle of the Ordovician period to the middle of the Silurian period. It is not known how many tentacles it had, but it is believed to have used its long shell to manipulate its buoyancy. Yeti crab. This crustacean lives in deep-sea hydrothermal vents. Temperatures in these environments can reach up to 400 degrees Celsius, dropping to near freezing just a short distance away. Its eyes are nearly useless after long atrophy. Its claws store bacteria, which thrive in the warm waters and are its staple food. Long-nosed lancetfish. This fish is long and slender, and it has a large mouth with sharp teeth. It has a fleshy protrusion to the rear of its dorsal fin, known as the adipose fin, whose function is unknown. It is very soft because a large portion of its body is made up of water. Dumbo octopus. This octopus uses its fins, which resemble large ears, to move slowly through the deep reaches of the ocean. Its entire body is slightly whitish, though it has a reddish tint on its ears and arms. While this octopus does not have an ink sac, it can change its body color using chromatophores, and it can constrict its arms to accelerate rapidly and flee predators. Ammonoidea. This cephalopod flourished after the Devonian period and likely lived until the end of the Cretaceous. Its shell had a unique shape, similar to but different from a conch. There were numerous variations on the spiraling shape. It was preyed upon by many fish and was a valuable food source for a lot of species. Vampire squid. In addition to its 8 arms, this species has 2 tentacles and a bioluminescent organ. The membrane between its arms gives it the appearance of a bat, or even a vampire, hence its name. However, while it belongs to the same class as squids and octopuses, it exists in its own order. It primarily eats crustacean shells and plankton, which is sometimes referred to as marine snow. Popeye grenadier. This fish has large eyes and a body that narrows toward the tail. Larvae of the Macroridae family, like this species, are rarely encountered, as they never live near the surface. As such, there are many unknowns concerning its ecology. Blunt-nosed six-gill shark. This fish has characteristics of ancient sharks, such as a single dorsal fin and 6 gill slits. Its snout is connected to its skull at 2 points, which gives its jaw less freedom of movement than other modern sharks' jaws. It also has beautiful green luminescent eyes. It lives at depths of several hundred meters, rising to the surface at night. Pacific spookfish. This fish looks like the silver chimera but sports a more pronounced snout. It lives in the depths of the ocean and has larger eyes than other sharks. With a total length of about 1.3 meters, females of the species tend to be greater in size than males. The way it swims, with its pectoral fins flapping up and down, makes it look like it is flying. Kitefin shark. This solitary, deep-sea shark has a short, rounded nose and a luminous belly. Normally in deep seas with dim light, you can look up and clearly see dark silhouettes. By emitting light from its belly, this shark hides itself from potential prey through counter-illumination. Indo-Pacific sailfish. This fish has a long, pointed snout, and it also has one of the largest dorsal fins of the marlin family. Some have suggested that this fish is capable of bursts of speed greater than any other fish, but there is no clear evidence to support this notion, so the debate is ongoing. Blotchy swell shark. Only about 19 centimeters long when young, this broad shark lives on the seabed near rocky and coral reefs. In the event that it feels threatened, it can inflate its stomach by inhaling water or air. Its eggs have a unique shape, with 4 attached strings that the shark wraps around coral to anchor the eggs in place. In Japan, these eggs are called mermaid purses. Dwarf sawfish. This creature has dozens of teeth arranged in a saw-like pattern. Its body is covered with sharp scales known as placoid scales. It has traits of both a shark and a ray, but it is classified as a ray because its gills are on the ventral side. As this species is rarely captured anywhere in the world, there is much that is still unknown about it. Giant oarfish. Though rarely seen close up, this deep-sea fish is well known for its distinctive appearance. Its fins are red, with its dorsal and ventral fins having long filaments coming from them. It is solitary and feeds mainly on plankton. With some members of the species measured at over 8 meters long, it is the world's longest bony fish. Singing dragon. A white whale that has made its home deep in the ruins. At first glance, it looks like a small humpback, but it actually belongs to an as yet unnamed species. It is said that in ancient times, humans and whales lived here together in harmony. This creature may be descended from the whales tamed by those ancient people. Splendid Alfonsino. This red fish can be identified by its large, golden eyes. Primitive bones found in its skull have led people to believe that this fish has existed for approximately 100 million years. It is a perfect example of an ancient fish. Pinecone fish. Its name comes from the large, hard scales covering its body, making it look like a pine cone. It glows at night, but the light comes from bacteria living inside the fish, not from the fish itself. Pacific halibut. This giant fish, one of the largest of its order, can measure over 2.5 meters in length and has an incredibly long life cycle. It is a carnivorous species and usually feeds in the mid-oceanic zone, though it may move to deeper waters in spawning season. A female of the species can grow to as much as 3 times the size of her male counterpart. Strawberry squid. This deep-sea squid's body is covered with a beautiful red coloration. As it matures, its left eye will grow larger than the right, resulting in a noticeable difference in size between the two. As a result, this squid tends to favor swimming with the larger left eye pointed upward, allowing it to detect even faint sunlight in the deep waters that it calls home. Horsehair crab. This crab is covered in short setae and prefers to live on sandy or muddy areas of the seafloor. It molts repeatedly as it grows, and feeds mostly on benthic, bottom-dwelling organisms such as polychaetes and shellfish. It has a round carapace and stout legs. It does not grow quickly, and the species has trouble recovering from overfishing. Indo-Pacific snaggletooth. An ominous-looking deep-sea dweller that prefers warm waters. Besides the prominent front teeth from which it gets its name, it has teeth on its upper jaw shaped like a long, thin comb. It also has a barbel coming out of its chin. Its body contains up to about 35 luminous organs, with secondary luminous spots scattered in other places, including its gills. Gold-eye rockfish. This fish is easily identified by its pale red body and large eyes. It hatches its eggs inside its body, and its young are released only when they have grown to about 5 millimeters. It spends its first 120 days floating among drifting seaweed, after which it is able to live near the seabed. It moves farther into the depths as it matures. Scrawled butterfly fish. This round fish is whitish with yellow around its edges and thick black lines stamped across its body. When it is swimming, its gentle motions almost make it look like a fluttering fan. It feeds on coral mucus, a slimy, nutrient-dense excretion that is produced by coral polyps. Bluefin trevally. A large fish of a shining cobalt blue tint, with numerous black spots speckling its skin. It swims independently, or groups into small shoals. Some of the larger specimens may have high concentrations of the toxic algae that causes ciguatera in humans. Bicolor angelfish. This yellow and blue fish lives in rocks and coral reefs. One male breeds with a harem of several females. When the male leaves, the largest female becomes male and takes over. Smaller females do not change sex, as they would not be able to participate in a harem without gaining size. Teardrop butterfly fish. This fish has a distinctive mark on the dorsal part of its body, almost like a teardrop. Its thick snout contains tiny, thread-like teeth that it uses to eat coral polyps. There's another species called the Indian teardrop butterfly fish that looks similar, but it lacks the white belly of this fish. Speckled butterfly fish. A pale yellow fish with dark spots. There are many similar varieties of butterfly fish, making it hard to tell which is which, but this species is easy to pick out due to its unique pattern. It lives in shallow areas of coral reefs and is an omnivore, eating algae and other benthic organisms. Multicolorfin rainbow fish, female. Most of this species are born as females, who are a plain, brown color and about 20 centimeters in length. However, the largest and strongest females of the shoal can actually change sex to become male. Then the males form up into harems with the females. Blue-cheek butterfly fish. This fish, a popular choice for aquariums, is yellow with a mask-like pattern around its eyes. It is only found in the Red Sea, where it often can be seen swimming in pairs around coral reefs. It eats by pecking at coral polyps. Flame angelfish. As its name suggests, this fish is flame red. Many fish living near coral reefs are brightly colored, but few are red, which makes this one special. The depth of color varies based on where it is found. During breeding season, the male may court the female by pecking on her abdomen. Whale shark, green. This rare whale shark has a bright green body and would have originally inhabited shallow waters. It's possible that its back changed to its present emerald green over the generations. It could be 150 years old, making it one of the oldest whale sharks in the world. Humphead wrasse. The largest of all wrasses, this species has a distinctly shaped hump on its head and a pale, complex color pattern. Since it is a curious sort, it tends to welcome attention by divers. It normally lives independently around coral reefs, but many gather together during breeding season.